Oh, take it away, Heather.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Well, welcome to my official launch. I'm pretty excited about this. It's been a while here. A little nervous here, so I'm learning as we go here. I'm going to tell you a little bit of how I got into it, and then I'm going to pass it on to my friends here. Um, I It's been quite a journey. Um, let's see. I've known Pam for a long time, since 2009, and her, like I said, we go way back, and it's a little ironic. I was her sponsor in the recovery program, and so now she's my sponsor and mentor now, and we joke about that all the time, because now she's my mentor, right? And so the shoe's on the other foot, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But I watched her go through hell and back, and that was the attraction to get me into it. She phoned me up out of the blue. We hadn't connected in a couple of years. And then she phoned me up out of the blue and asked me how I was doing. And I said, truthfully, Pam, I'm not doing well. Like, I'm grossly overweight. I was really obese, and 386 pounds at the time. And I wasn't healthy, and I couldn't do a lot of things. And I was getting sicker, and I could feel it. I could feel my gut health getting sicker and sicker inside. And so she started talking about these superfoods and these green veggie shakes, and I don't know, green veggie shakes. I said, I don't know if I can do that, and then, well, there you go. I don't miss a day now. Like, I love these green veggie shakes now. But I mean, finally, I think it was about 3 days later, I phoned her up and I said, okay, Pam, I'm sick of living in this pain. I need to do something. And I'd gotten really sick there. I got to tell you this part here. In August and September, I ended up in emergency 4 times in August, once in September, with diverticulitis, which is pockets that form along your stomach lining. And they went right through my colon as well. And what that is it's pockets that fill with pus. And in my case, went septic. And I was in extreme amounts of pain and agony. I was suffering from dehydration, malnutrition, and I was a mess. I was an absolute mess. And I kept going back to the hospital, and they ran CT scans and X-rays and all kinds of multiple blood works, and nothing was working. Nothing at all was working. And their prognosis there wasn't very good. Um, they were telling me my kidneys were like, I got in a boxing ring with a professional boxer and got beat up for 10 rounds. And the doctor there said my kidneys weren't going to process food right or function properly for at least 2.5 year period. And I was like, I was just dejected. I was just like, oh my God, And he said, you're going to be on dialysis 2 times a week, where they clean your whole blood out. And I'm like, no, there's got to be another way. And like I said, I had already started talking to Pam about it before. And so I finally phoned her, and then she came over. She came right over, and God bless her for coming right over. She came over and showed me this green veggie. Try this, and just shut up and try it. And she had to be direct. She and like I said, the irony is that's the way I was with her in the recovery program. So I just love how she turned that around. And I looked at her and I said, "Wow, that's not you, Pam. That's not you." Because she used to be so shy, and now she's glowing, and she's got all this energy, and she's doing it. Like, she's doing it. Her life has totally changed. She's not the same person at all. And who is this? And ironically, she said that to me there last week. We met for a salad there at a restaurant, and she said that to me. Who am I looking at here? I don't see Heather anymore, because like I've lost so much weight. And anyway, it's pretty cool. Um, so I got on these superfoods, and I got on the core four. Actually, she connected me with Allison first, and we went in connects for a long time with Allison, and the two of them educated me on what gut health was, and what purium was, and what these superfoods could do. And I got right on board. I came right in, and at first I couldn't stomach a lot. I had to go very slow, like 1/3 a shake and 2 super aminos. I couldn't even stomach the cherry juice at first. It took me a while. Took me 4 to 5 weeks before I could stomach the cherry juice. My gut was that bad. It was that ill. And finally, I started to get enough nutrients in me, and I started to feel better. I started to get that energy, and I started to get motivated, and I started moving more. And just by moving, and I got a mental clarity that came out of it, and that fog started to lift, that brain fog we talk about. And it's freaking amazing, like absolutely amazing, you know. And then I started to lose more weight, and so I mean, I'm gonna get right. I'm gonna just share what my doctor thing. I'll just tell you what happened the other day, because this says it all, and then I can end it here. I can really literally tie it up here real quick with my doctor appointment the other day. And ironically, Pam was there 3 months ago when my doctor was trying to give me pills. She was sitting right beside me when I answered the phone on that phone call with the doctor 3 months ago. And I told him about holistic medicine, and I told him about these superfoods. And he said, "No, you're going to get sick." He was pissed off. He was mad at me. And his solution was to give me other pills. And Pam was sitting right beside me during that phone call. And so for me to get the phone call I got just the other day, it was phenomenal. Like, he literally went through my blood work that I got done 2 days prior to that phone call. And he said, your kidneys are functioning properly. They have a number of 83 now, anything over 60 being great. Um, that's amazing. Like I had a 57 number, and I was looking at dialysis back in August and September. He did my A1C 5.4, and because I've had 2 rounds of blood work done now, he says, you're no longer diabetic. And I started crying on the phone. I was crying on the phone when he told me, you're no longer diabetic. I said, excuse me, can you say that again? And you're no longer diabetic. And I'm like, wow, I've been diabetic for over 10 years, and I haven't been on the metformin medication for that in, how long's it been? Like he took me off back in September. So that's 5 months, 5.5 months I haven't been on it. So proof's in the pudding. Like, I don't need them. Obviously, if my A1C is 5.4, like, to be diabetic, you got to be 6.5 or over. Like, so proof's in the paper, like literally in the paper, in the bloody blood work and the doctor. And this doctor, and then I go, okay, how's everything else? Go through all of it. I want to know all of it. I really do. And so he says, your lymph nodes and what did he say? Your lymph nodes and your whole system's working fine. Your kidneys, your liver are functioning properly, perfectly. He said, you have the cholesterol of a 35-year-old, not a 56-year-old. I'm like, wow, you know, and he just keeps going. And then he says, okay, he says, now, how are you doing? And he said, how much weight? Well, he said you lost weight. I said, yeah, I lost a shit ton. I said 147 pounds now. And I said 45 of that was in August and September when I was sick. And I said, that's 102 pounds now since I've been on these superfoods. And that's a fact. Like, that's a fact. And he was all against the superfoods. And now all of a sudden he's changed his tone. He said, okay, I want to know about these superfoods. Tell me. So I just spewed and I spewed and I spewed. And then he says, how do you spell it? How do you spell Purium? I'm like I'm blown away. Like, he's asking me how to spell Purium, because just Pam was there. She heard that phone call. I was pissed at him 3, 4 months ago. I was mad because his solution was to give me more medications that have side effects that would injure my gut. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. So, and then he said, how's the sleep apnea? I said, what sleep apnea? I said, I slept over at a friend's place and I was with her all night. And she said, no, you don't have sleep apnea. You don't snore at all. And then my choker here, it used to be a choker. Now it's a necklace. It's 10 inches. Like, look at that. That was tight around my neck. That's 10 inches around my neck I lost. That's proof. Like, there's my sleep apnea gone, because to have sleep apnea, usually it's people with a neck of 17 inches or bigger. It's too smaller. Like, again, it's in writing. It's freaking amazing. And then the business, you guys welcome me in to this business, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm having fun. I'm getting to help other people. And here's where I'm going to tie it into, I could tie it into Kelley and Georgie there. That was a God shot, meeting you guys at the post office. The fact that we were at the post office at the exact same time on that day. I don't believe in coincidences. I don't know about you two, but I don't. I didn't see you guys either. Kelley, you said you didn't see me, but Georgie did, and you guys followed me home. And look at the changes that you got going now. Like that's phenomenal. You know, um, I love you guys. I love you guys so much. You're my family. And before I get too choked up here, I want Pam to share her miracle with us, please. Pam?
Thank
So
you,
you,
Heather, for that amazing share. The changes you've experienced in really such a short time is quite mind blowing. um, I came onto these foods because I spent most of my life, almost all of my life since I was a kid, in life-threatening mental illness. And I spent most of my time in mental institutions, locked up, getting shock treatment, getting treated really horribly by the system, heavily medicated. Um, I used to like cut through my own skin, put cigarettes out on myself. I've been cut down. I've taken overdoses, like the whole bit. Severely ill. My prognosis was I would either die by my own hand. That was my mom's worst fear before she died, was that she would find me dead, or I would suffer for the rest of my life and be institutionalized. And and that was my prognosis. And that's a shitty prognosis. um, and because of all the medications I was on so many. I was so heavily medicated, and Heather knows how medicated I was. I was a zombie. Um, and so, because lots of these medications put on weight. The last time I was in the mental health hospital, they put me on 3 new medications and I gained 50 pounds in a month. But they will tell you, no, that's you. It's not the medication. So you're just, I mean, you're a victim everywhere you go, and they make you a victim. It's a never ending system. And so I weighed 305 pounds and I was severely um, like disabled. I was using a mobility scooter and a walker to get around, and all the mobility aids. And I got desperate, and I found thankfully I found a good surgeon in Mexico, but I went to get gastric bypass surgery, which gave me, I lost a lot of weight, yes, but it gave me a whole host of new problems. My pelvic floor muscles were paralyzed. They said they'd never work again. I couldn't eat anything. My daughter said, "You're gonna have to ask for a feeding tube to get your nutrients, Mom." And that just wasn't an option. There's no way. So I got a hold of a holistic nutritionist, and the first thing she said was, "You got to get on these foods." And so I did. And when I started, I mean, I can drink a whole one now, but for the first 3 or 4 months, I started out with just a shot glass. And because I mean, I trusted this person that this would help, and so I just kept going, and now I can drink a whole one, and I can eat. My pelvic floor muscles work, and they're not supposed to, but they do. It all has to do with gut health. I am on zero mental health medication. I have zero disability of any sort, mind or body, zero. Um, and I just can't believe it. I used to sleep 12 hours a night, highly medicated. When I came off my medication, I could only sleep 4, and that was 4 hours of fitful sleep. And now with my cherry juice that I take every night, I sleep 7 or 8 hours of nice, beautiful, restful sleep. I wake up, jump out of bed. People used to tell me all the time, "You look so tired." That's all they ever said to me. Even, and now they just say, "You glow." Even if I am tired, they don't even say that. So that's pretty cool to me. That's my story. Thank you, Heather.
thank you so much, Pam. I'll never forget that night I was called in to be with you and as your family, that night. That was quite the night. Anyway, I'm so glad you're here. I can't believe the changes. I love you, Pam. Kelley and Georgie. Uh, I should say that I met Kelley a long time ago. I shared my story. I'm in recovery, and I shared my story every second week in a treatment center for 15 years. So Kelley and I go way back, and she said, "You got to meet my partner Georgie," and we met a long time ago. And then it was so cool to reconnect at the post office here. So let's hear your story now.
Thank you, Heather. Thanks, Pam. Let me say, I'm so proud to be your very first brand partner. I'm really proud of that. I know, I'm really proud of that. You know, and a little bit of my story is like lifelong horrible eating habits. That was family tradition. It was greasy pizza and pop and chips and candy bars, sweets. And I never really thought that I would ever leave those behind. I didn't even know if I could, or if I really even wanted to. That seemed like something that, I don't know, I just figured I would just die young and never be healthy, you know? And superfoods and everything that you introduced us to has turned my life around, and it's an amazing journey. And I agree with you, there are no coincidences. That was a total God shot, because we wasn't letting you go after Georgie says, "Pretty sure that was Heather." So, well, we know where she lives, we're going, right? So I'm so glad we did. And you know, and you beat it right over here on a Saturday with your arms full of product. And we started that day, you know, and we'll never look back. And I thank you, and I thank everybody that is in our huge family now, everybody on the Kind Human Tribe. This team is just unbelievable, so supportive, and yeah, we're just happy. George.
Well, like Kelley, I grew up in a restaurant. My dad was a chef, and so I lived on fried foods most of the time, or if I ate at home, it was Kraft dinner or wieners and beans. So my life of bad eating, passed it on to my kids and everything else. But when I went to the doctor here in February, he was surprised because we started this on January 14th, and February 2nd, I went to him and I'd already lost some weight. I'd lost about 15 pounds. And he was so pleased with the way I looked, the way my heart sounded. He couldn't believe it. And the way my blood sugars are ranging. Like right now, my blood sugars are ranging between 4 and 6. And my insulin, I've dropped my insulin from 62 to 48 units a day. So that's quite a big change. And he thinks that I'll be off insulin probably by July. So hopefully I will be. So and with everybody's help, and it's just a wonderful community. I just love this community. And I am a light worker. I do hands-on healing, and I hadn't done any work in that field since 2010, since my son was killed in an avalanche. But I had my first customer here a couple of weeks ago, so it was awesome.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Wow, you got me all choked up there, Georgie. I remember telling you that when I brought that over there, that you'd be back healing, and look at you go. You're back doing it. And it's been how many years since you did that, Georgie?
I did it for about 20 years before 2010. So, and then I haven't done it since 2010.
Wow.
March 13th.
Yeah, it's March 13th. So
Coming up 13 years.
yeah, 13 years. So I did haven't done my healing work. So, but I'm back at it. So
yeah, you are. You guys are rocking it. I love you guys. Well, you got me all choked up. That's I wow. Thank you both. And my dear friend Cora, one of the ones who welcomed me in with open arms, and we've been bugging each other. We've been laughing. We joke. I swear at some of her comments, and she laughs, and we're silly together. We even had a green tongue day together, where we're sticking out our tongues with green veggie shake tongues. Anyway, Cora, I want to hear from you, please.
Thank you so much for having here. And it's so nice to hear from like all your stories because they are like mind blowing. And I'm so happy for you guys that you've been able to recover, you know. My story is a bit different. I grew up on a not plant-based diet, on the Mediterranean diet. And my mom, I think like she's been always the smart one. She always like buys organic, blah, blah, blah. But then like I also developed a bad relationship with food when I was like very young. And then when I came here to the US, you know, everything here in California, everything was so expensive. And I would spend only $40 on food a week. And yeah, I destroyed my immune system. Then I also got a virus. I also needed to get like surgery. And then it's when I actually started looking into my health. I even did like the Gerson therapy for a few weeks to see if I could get better, like holistically. I wasn't taking medicine. I stopped taking actually medicine when I was in college. It was like sleeping pills. And then when I saw that I was getting addicted, I was like, I don't want to take medicine anymore. And that like I put a cross on that, on medication. But yeah, so then when I got that virus, I started to like look into health. And I was also like very depressed. As a kid, I was also like very angry, like maybe not a kid, a teenager. I was very angry. And yeah, one day, my former boss, I think she saw that there was like something that was going on with me. And she said, why don't you try yoga? And then I was like, okay, I always thought it was like for old people, you know, but I gave it a try. Like she gave me like her credentials and I started doing yoga online, and then something clicked. I was vegetarian at that time. And yeah, something clicked. I was like, it doesn't make any sense. I'll go plant-based. And then I started like eating more plant-based. My relationship with food also started healing. And yeah, so then like it was like everything, like also like it was that time, you know, that I got the virus, like this happened as well. So then I saw that my mental health and like my overall health started improving. I was like, okay, this is like, there's something here, something is working, you know, between the yoga and how I'm eating now, like it's working. And then I decided to also pursue like holistic health and wellness. So I did that. And that's how because I wanted to make sure that what I was doing it right, because I had so many people saying to me, if you are plant-based, like where are you getting your protein, like your vitamins, you know, like you start hearing all that. So okay, I need to get educated on everything. So I pursued that, and yeah, fast forward, I started like eating organic, like eating super clean as possible. I also stopped drinking, which I was not like a heavy drinker anyways, but yeah, I never smoked either. So yeah, and then one day, like I received this message like from Alice about these superfoods. And I was like, I don't know, this looks good, you know? And then also like Sarah Brando got involved. I was like, for me, like Sarah Brando, whatever she says, like, you know, like it's good. So yeah, and then they also like brought to my attention glyphosate, which I was not aware of. And then I also started doing my research. I found out Zach Bush, now like so many podcasts talking about glyphosate. I was like, how do I not know about this, you know? And then like I became obsessed with it. And for me, basically what they told me and like what I could find, yeah, basically it's like how I got started, you know? I was like, I'll give it a try. I think I was open to trying. I was like, I'm not going to lose anything. And then what I saw is that by month 2, the first month, I didn't see much change. But towards the end of the second month, I saw that, so I was going like for runs, and I saw that my vision was better. Like everything looked brighter. It was like so weird to me. And I was like, wait a second, my memory is also improving. Like I have like better cognition. And then I also started realizing that I didn't feel tired mid-afternoon, and I used to feel like tired usually after lunch. I was like, I thought that it was normal, like I'm from Spain, we do the siesta, the nap in the like after lunch. So I thought it was normal. And then like I never did that really, but like, like that feeling, I thought it was normal. And it's not, because like now I don't feel like that need of like taking a nap or like tired. And that's pretty cool. Sometimes I still laugh about it because I'm like, this is so funny, that I feel like so energetic all the time. So yeah, like that was a huge change as well. And the sleep too, because sometimes I do get stressed because we all have things that happen, life happens and we go through things, like being an immigrant, it's also like really hard at sometimes. But yeah, so these actually have helped me a lot with sleep, like falling asleep faster. It took like a while, but now I just put my head on the pillow and I pass out. It feels so good. It's like, it's the best thing ever. Instead of like, because sometimes I used to go to bed and like my brain starts working when I go to bed, It's like I started thinking about everything. It's like, it's so annoying. And I get all these like, I get the creative juices flowing. So now this doesn't happen. Or it happens less. But yeah, it's been great for sleep, like energy, having better memory, like brain fog, so yeah, I guess like that was the brain fog too. Like I didn't even know I had brain fog, and like now it's like it's gone. So yeah, basically that's my 2 cents, or like my experience, and I'm like super grateful, and I'm super grateful I met all of you guys.
Well, thank you so much, Cora. I love hearing that. Wow. The brain fog, isn't that cool? The mental clarity that we get and the creativity. I love it. I love it. I'm back doing my carpentry stuff that I haven't done for a long time. So that's good. Anyway, I want to go back to Pam here. And so she's my mentor and my business partner. So tell us about the business, Pam, please.
All righty. Thank you everybody for your shares. Like your stories are why we're here. And we just start by healing ourselves first. And then people start to notice. Like I said, people just tell me you're glowing. And I've had people just stare at me when I walk into a room and I'm like, why are they all staring? And they're like, because you're glowing. I'm not used to that at all. I think people are staring because, I got something on my face or something in my teeth, but they just notice. And as you heard, Kelley and Georgie noticed Heather just going into the bank and followed her home and said, what the heck are you doing? So that's what people just, why are you glowing so much? And so we just start to share our stories. And we like to make happy customers first, because that's, people start to notice, you start to share, and then you get so excited about it and find out that you can join the company and maybe pay for your foods that you buy, because you're going to want more and more and more, and you're going to want to try this and try that. But then you find out about the amazing compensation plan and the fast start bonuses and then you want that. And I mean, the bonuses of this company, they're just so freely given, and they pour into us, and everybody in this company, everybody in the Kind Human tribe, everybody not in the Kind Human tribe, people like Eric and Allison, and they just pour into us because they really want to see us succeed. And we're here just to share and help heal our friends and everybody in the world. I don't want to see anybody suffering with mental illness or obesity or disability or anything like that, diabetes. And then we start seeing the benefits of the business transformation, and then we want everybody to just experience the same business transformation as their health transformation. So it happens pretty organically. All I did was show Heather a green juice, and she tried it, and then had her own transformation, and somebody else noticed, and they started getting their own transformation, and then they're like, we want to share this too. And here we are. It's pretty amazing how this just grows like a bad weed, only it's not a bad weed. It's amazing. And Eric, always says to us, how much he believes in you. You don't get that anywhere else in a typical job. You don't get this kind of thing. Here's where I want to be.
Well, thank you so much, Pam. And yeah, that's how you got me that one question. Don't you want to get your superfoods paid for? Yeah, sign me up. Yeah, that's what did it. That's what did it, Yeah, and I wanted to try everything else. There's so much. I don't know. Do we got time, Pam? Can I ask Eric for a couple minutes here? I want to hear Eric for just a couple minutes. If we can. I'd love to, if you don't mind, Eric.
Hey, yes, thank you so much for the opportunity. I get inspired all over again every time I hear your stories of transformation, and now seeing many of you grow and develop, build a business, help others and pay it forward, I think is just so amazing. And one of the reasons why I made the decision to get out of corporate America several years ago was because I had such a strong desire to help others in a very powerful way. I was surrounded by a lot of destructive competition, backbiting, backstabbing, all those things. I saw it firsthand. I saw the anxiety levels of people rise and affect their mental well-being and health. And I wanted to be in an environment that fostered collaboration over competition. And I found one here in the Purium community. I love network marketing. I think it's a brilliant business model. It truly rewards people for doing what they want to do anyway, which is pay it forward. And, we can't excel in this business. We can't move forward unless we're willing to help a lot of people along the way. And every time we do that, the dividends it pays is more than the biggest paycheck we could ever imagine. And it's the satisfaction we gain from seeing someone else move forward in their journey. And it's been such a blessing for me. I've been able to either directly or impact or indirectly impact over 70,000 people in this journey. And I can't say I've done it alone. I've gotten a lot of help from a lot of people along the way. And it continues to pay those dividends for me. And that's just what I love about this business model. So the Purium opportunity is a combination of an amazing product, the most amazing superfoods on earth, in my opinion. We have an incredible business model that facilitates us to easily be able to share this through our gift card marketing system, which is absolutely brilliant. We have an incredible community of people that are supportive, because being an entrepreneur is not easy, just like a health journey. When we have support, it's a lot easier to do it. And then we have this incredible company behind us with some incredible owners that truly care about humanity. They're not just in it for the money, they're in it to change the world. And I'm super inspired by their mission and proud to represent it. I know many of you are as well. So what a home run. This is you got the trifecta, if you will, all those factors coming together. And that's why I believe that this is the best place that we could ever be. So with that, thank you, Heather, for the opportunity. I congratulate all of you on your results. Let's keep it going. Let's keep this thing going and growing, and help more people out there that desperately need our help.
Well, thank you so much, Eric. Thank you, everybody that shared, everybody that came. It means so much to me. It really does. I really appreciate, I know everybody's busy, so I appreciate your time. I thank you so much for coming. Thank you for letting me use your Zoom, Pam.
So if you're watching the replay and you're interested, Heather does have a gift card for you.
I was just gonna say that $50 gift code for over $90 and 200 if it's 25%, or 25% if it's over 200. And I'm gonna end this with my trademark. I gotta end it with my trademark I do all my lives. If nobody told you that they love you today, then let me be the first. Hi.
Love it.
I love you. Thank you for coming.